This is ABC15 Mornings.
Dropping the masks. A lot of people just not quite ready.
Where the vast majority of people are vaccinated, then it will continue to remain confusing.
Right now, more cities, including Phoenix, could dump the mandates.
Getting back to work.
Companies are coming to us and asking us, can you help us with this transition?
Are employees ready to leave their homes?
New this morning, benefits delayed. The Let Joe Know team uncovers a step that could be slowing down the ID verification process.
Continuing with online schools.
If they want to try out for a sports team, they can. If they want to take part in chorus and band, those are opportunities as well.
With distance learning, districts are looking for students all over the state.
Get it!
Summer blockbusters are back, so will the audience return to the theater?
Plus, only on ABC15 Mornings.
The population of pigs has exploded in Arizona. We get emails every day.
An in-depth look at one of our nation's largest pig rescues located right here in Arizona.
And some hope that maybe you'll be able to visit at some point, right? When we get in through this post-pandemic time. First, we say good morning to you on this Wednesday. Thank you for starting your day with us. It's gorgeous out there as we get you going. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio. Nick Saletti is in the newsroom.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Excited to go in depth with you on the story about the pig rescue. It's in Marana. They currently have more than 600 pigs, which is the most they've ever had. Wow. They say it's a huge problem here in Arizona with people getting pigs. They think they're cute, they think they're great pets, and then they don't do the research and don't know how to take care of them and surrender them. So we're going to go in depth on that story for you in just a few moments. But first, let's talk about that most accurate forecast this morning, and meteorologist Iris Rosillo joining us. Okay, Iris, a mild start to the day, but hey, it is going to get hot later, so go outside now if you can.
Exactly, because this morning's temperatures are not as cool as they've been the last few days, but this is going to essentially be the coolest point of the day before we start to heat up. And it's possible your AC maybe has been coming on a little bit in the overnight hours, depending on what you set it at. Temperatures this morning, they're in the 70s as we start the day in most spots, including in Phoenix. We've dropped to 74 degrees, but again, that may be as low as we go for the morning because we'll be back to about 80 degrees by 8 a.m., then 90s by mid-morning, 11 o'clock to lunchtime in the valley. And today, we're heading back into those triple digits with Phoenix topping out at 101 degrees. It's going to be a hot day, but here's the deal. These triple digits, they're going to be short-lived. So hopefully knowing that will help you get through today a little bit easier because after today, temperatures are dropping. We've got more winds to talk about too, even a rain chance. I'm going to break down everything you need to know in that full forecast still ahead. For now, though, our Megan Thompson has been keeping us updated on our morning drive. Hey, Megan.
Hi, Iris. It's been a busy morning so far, but some good news to share with you at this point in the morning. Those crashes are clearing up. Hopefully no more pop up. I'll knock on wood or something as soon as I walk off so I don't jinx this for you. But as we take a wide look at the maps, we have green conditions in the East Valley and the northern part of the valley on the 17 and the 101. We are seeing our normal delays around the I-10 eastbound, but a crash did just clear in that area. So that's the good news for you as you're traveling closer to the stack, about 24 miles per hour. Along the Durango curve, 16 miles per hour, and as you get closer to the mini stack, right around 45 miles per hour. We do still have this crash on the I-10 westbound at the US 60. The HOV lane is blocked due to a rollover crash, and there's a live look for you from the I-10 near 19th Avenue, showing traffic moving along very nicely there in Phoenix.
All right, Megan, thank you for that. 3 minutes past, and this morning we're working to get you more information on a wrong-way crash involving 4 vehicles. This on the 60 near Gold Canyon. DPS is telling us 6 people were involved. Some were taken to the hospital. Troopers not giving many more details than that.
Today, Phoenix City leaders will decide when to keep or do away with the city's mask mandate. Several other Valley cities have dropped their mask rules in light of the new CDC guidelines. This morning, we're going in depth on the mandates and how people feel about them. Diving deeper here, Mark Thompson joining us now. And Mark, after a year of masks, the changes could have some people feeling anxious.
Yeah, just a little bit, Nick. Good morning to you. And for more than a year now, we've been following all of the rules. We've gotten used to social distancing, doing Zoom calls, avoiding large crowds. But things, they are a-changing now that a lot of communities are starting to lift restrictions. And while vaccinated people, they are being told that they can move more freely. Recent polls say that many people are not so quick to return to their former lives. But they're making progress. Data company Invisibly found 58% of respondents would, for example, travel and hop on an airplane. 52% of respondents said that they would consider attending a large sporting event in the next 3 to 6 months. We spoke with an ABC15 health insider who says people should really think this out.
Want to maintain relationships, but also feel safe. And then how can you consciously do that while preserving and respecting others' choices? Finding courage and trusting yourself and being confident about what it is that you do end up deciding for yourself. Again, go slow, respect your pace, respect the pace of others. You don't have to engage in something that doesn't feel safe.
And Black Americans, they are one group feeling a little bit more uneasy about adjusting back into in-person interactions. Nearly 60% are feeling that way. That's according to a recent report from American Psychological Association. That's more than any other racial group right now.
Black Americans are feeling more anxious than other groups because there have been a lot of instances of police brutality out in America. And for right now, Black people, since they've been quarantined, their homes have become a safe haven.
Another group that's going to need some help adjusting is teens. 60% of 14 to 24-year-olds in a recent survey with Visco say that they are more anxious about in-person interactions now compared to pre-COVID. And it's up to parents now to help foster an environment where teens feel more comfortable. Now, if you or a loved one, for example, is starting to feel anxious about, maybe you having on a mask while everybody else has taken theirs off, or any of these issues, the experts say take a step back, slow down a little bit, and make sure that you do things at your own pace, not the pace of others, as we all try to work to get back towards normal. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona. Back to you.
Mark, thank you. The debate over masks in schools became heated at the Scottsdale Unified Board meeting. Leaders ending it last night after several people in attendance refused to wear a mask. Yeah, you can hear it there in the background. The crowd voicing their displeasure over the district's decision to keep requiring masks indoors through the end of the school year, which is next week.
Well, some new numbers are showing 600,000 kids between the ages of 12 and 15 have received their first dose of the coronavirus vaccine. The FDA approving Pfizer's vaccine for this age group last week. In total, about 3.5 million children under 18 are fully vaccinated. As for the nation as a whole, 60% of adults have received at least one dose. Today, Maricopa County Public Health hosting a vaccine clinic for kids 12 and older. This is at the St. Vincent de Paul School and Church in Maryvale, and that event will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You will not need an appointment.
6:08 right now. Thousands of fake unemployment claims filed in Arizona, slowing down real people from getting their benefits. Since then, the Let Joe Know team has been working to find out what's being done to solve this problem and get payments to those who need them. All new this morning, Joe lets you know a step in the new ID verification process that could be what's causing this holdup.
The state spent more than $1 million hiring the company ID.me to verify people making unemployment claims, to cut down on fraud and speed up the process. While the state says fraud is way down, they aren't telling us how much. And as for speeding up the process, every day people complain to us even after going through the ID.me process. Helen says she was verified back in February, but still no money and is owed 12 weeks of back pay. And Shane says he went through ID.me 3 times, making sure he did it correctly, but still didn't get answers on when he'll get unemployment payments.
We're told ID.me is just part of the process, that adjudicators and more information may be necessary, something we've been told from the beginning. But we were also told this, that in order to use the ID.me system, you need to be able to share your information with the state. If you didn't, could that be causing a delay?
DES says before the verification process is complete, the claimant must click the button to allow ID.me to notify DES that they have successfully verified their identity, as they are instructed. ID.me says they put the step in place to make sure consumers are in control of their data. To make sure this isn't your issue, log on to your ID.me account. Click Sign In and Security. Then on the left-hand side, click Privacy. There you should see a list of websites granted access to your information. You should see Arizona Department of Economic Security listed. If you don't, ID.me says to use the link DES sent for you to start the ID.me process, logging in with the ID.me credentials, and then finishing the last step by authorizing ID.me to send your information to DES.
Is this a big problem? We don't know. We asked the state and ID.me and didn't get an answer, but it may be one step that finally gets you closer to what you've been trying to get for a very long time. Go to abc15.com/letjoeknow for a step-by-step guide on completing the ID.me process. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Well, Suns fans, we have waited a very long time to get to the playoffs, and it's happening. And this morning, a well-deserved honor for Coach Monty Williams, named Coach of the Year. The NBA Coaches Association recognizing him after leading the Suns to a 51-21 record. Coach Williams saying he's humbled by this award. It was a team effort, and the Suns are back at practice a little later today, gearing up for their playoff run, which will get underway Sunday.
Oh, the Phoenix Mercury wrapping up a 3-game stretch on the road with a win over the Washington Mystics. Diana Taurasi leading the way with 17 points here. The Mercury have won 2 of their first 3 games. Friday's the team's first home game. They'll host the Connecticut Sun at Phoenix Suns Arena. ABC15 Mornings will be live at the arena to get the day started. Go Merc.
Absolutely. It's 11 minutes past the hour, and up next here on ABC15 Mornings. Has spending maybe too much time with your partner caused a little friction between the two of you? Well, you're not alone. There are some ways, though, to fight something that's being called relationship fatigue. And yes, some of these may surprise you.
Oh, interested in that. Plus, are you streaming movies or do you want that full theater experience? The big screen is back, and we are about to find out if audiences will return.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Coming up on 6:15 on a Wednesday. Hi there, I'm Megan Thompson. Taking a look at the roads this morning, and finally things are starting to ease up after a rough morning earlier today. So let's look at those maps to see where we are still seeing some issues. Mostly green conditions, except of course in those normal slowing spots along the I-10 East as you're approaching the stack and along the Durango curve, and as you're approaching the mini stack. Still traveling though right around 55 miles per hour. This crash is in the clearing stages. So this is the I-10 westbound near the US 60. The HOV lane has been blocked for quite some time due to a rollover crash. But as I was just looking at the cameras, it looks like they're getting ready to open that relatively soon. And it's not impacting your flows too much, especially if you stay to the right. On the 60 and both 202s, all those green conditions also looking green in the northern part of the valley on the 101 and the 17. I'll give you a look at those desert drive times. The only spot in the yellow, the I-10 eastbound from Loop 303 to the mini stack.
All right, well, as we talk about that most accurate forecast, seeing a lot of yellow on this particular map, but that happens whenever we see temperatures that are running warmer than they were at this time yesterday. And that's exactly what we're seeing across most of Arizona right now. We're talking temperatures that are about 3 degrees warmer in Phoenix. It's not a huge difference, but you may notice that it's a little bit milder out there here in the valley. Meanwhile, we're about 5 to 10 degrees milder in spots like Flagstaff than we were 24 hours ago, with temperatures in the 40s there this morning. So a bit of a warmer start across the state. It's 54 in Payson, 61 in Sedona, 78 at Lake Havasu and Phoenix Sky Harbor, right at 74 degrees. So as we talk temperatures, again, this is going to be the coolest point of the day. It's a milder start, but it's going to be as cool as it gets before we start to warm up. So enjoy it while you can. It's 74 degrees right now at Phoenix Sky Harbor, 70 in Chandler. Meanwhile, we're checking in at 74 in Mesa, Glendale at 73 in Avondale. Good morning. You're checking in right at 76 degrees with mostly clear skies. Here's how temperatures climb here through the morning in case you are going to be getting outside soon. We'll be back to 80 degrees by 8 a.m. I think we'll see the first 90s of the day sometime between about 11 o'clock and lunchtime today. Already a little warm by noon with that temperature at about 93 degrees. And then eventually we're talking temperatures in the hundreds this afternoon. 30-year average is 96, so we are looking at above average high temperatures with triple-digit heat from about Queen Creek all the way to Buckeye. 100 in Buckeye today, 100 in Glendale. We'll make it to 100 in Deer Valley, 101 in Tempe, and 100% in Ahwatukee. Phoenix tops out at 101. We'll also reach those hundreds in Casa Grande, upper 80s in Globe, with temperatures in the mid-70s in Flagstaff, low 80s in Window Rock, and temperatures in the low hundreds in western Arizona. So a toasty day, a hot day really across the state, but the triple digits, they're not going to stick around for long. Today, we reach 101, but by tomorrow, we start to see that temperature drop. Now, tomorrow's still going to be pretty toasty with that high into the upper 90s, but look at Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. We'll take it. Upper 80s on Friday, temperatures in the low 90s for Saturday and Sunday. So if you haven't done so already, start thinking about your weekend plans. You're going to have a little bit more time in the morning hours to get outdoors because temperatures will be slower to warm those days as we reach those highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Now, of course, with that drop in temperatures will also come more winds, and that's going to be a big factor in our fire risk here towards the end of the week, especially in northern Arizona. Low humidity will be a factor. Temperatures will be dropping, so that's not going to be as much of an issue, but again, it's those winds and those low humidities that are going to increase that fire danger, especially Thursday and Friday, and particularly across northern Arizona. For the valley today, breezy with a high of 101. Then tomorrow, believe it or not, we've got a chance for rain. It's a very slim chance of a few showers possible Thursday night into very early Friday morning. Most of us won't see much, but again, that potential is there. We'll get the cooler weather in here by the weekend and then start to heat back up next week.
Okay, Iris, thank you. Almost 6:19 now. If the pandemic has you spending more time than ever before with your partner, things are getting maybe a little testy. It might be relationship fatigue, and we are about to help you get through it together. That is what's on today's bulletin board. Family counselors say the return to normal will be really good for most couples. But in the meantime, they say make sure you are carving out alone time, and that means away from each other. Then you can set aside some time to connect, something as simple as having a no phone rule at dinner time. They also say make room for bad moods because they happen to all of us. These experts also say try not to get caught up in maybe thinking that your partner's bad mood is because of something you did. And finally, love this, watch more comedies. Laughing can reduce stress hormones. Plus, studies also show couples who engage in light, feel-good things to do together also tend to feel more satisfied in their relationship. So schedule that movie night. Doctor's orders from this morning's bulletin board.
I like that. All good ideas. Hey, speaking of movies, this could be the summer of the blockbuster since so many films from last year were delayed. There's going to be a steady stream of movies in theaters nationwide. Theaters lost nearly all their summer revenue last year, and their hopeful audiences will return. Memorial Day usually kicks off the summer movie season, hitting theaters May 28th, A Quiet Place 2, and Cruella, starring Valley native Emma Stone. A unique new restaurant and bar is opening soon on Roosevelt Row in downtown Phoenix. It's called Rough Rider, and it's an ode to the first volunteer cavalry led by Teddy Roosevelt during the Spanish-American War. You have to take an elevator down to the basement of the 1001 building. The underground restaurant has an American Southwest menu and cocktails based on the late 1800s. The owners hope to open in June.
Office buildings are opening again. You've seen it, but not all employees want to return. From anxiety to losing flexible schedules, the transition is about to get real for millions of people. Plus, taking reality TV to the next level. We're talking about space. So would you apply for this new competition show?
People who have been working remotely are moving back to the office, but not all of them want to leave their homes, which can lead to agitated employees. The last year has taken a toll on all of us.
A lot more aggression and violence, protests, destruction, differences of opinion. And then you got to also add into that mix COVID, which contained people, restricted them.
As we return to the office, frustrations remain high.
Companies are coming to us and asking us, can you help us with this transition?
Tim Dymoff is a national security expert and consultant. He says coming out of the pandemic can lead to workplace aggression.
Here's an employee that brought a gun to work, showed it, used it as an intimidation factor, and became very close to using it.
Mental health experts are seeing patients who struggle with the return to the work environment.
People who have never experienced mental health condition before now are having some symptoms of, maybe episodic depression or episodic anxiety.
If you feel anxious or irritable, find a healthy outlet.
I think it's important for folks to kind of arm themselves with something that works for them, whether it be a deep breathing exercise or a relaxation technique.
There are different needs for different companies, but the goal remains prevent violence.
If a company's proactive, they are not going to be the ones to have these incidents take place at their locations.
Well, as everyone gets back to working in the same building, experts say we need to have patience and tolerance.
That's good advice, right? Another impact of the pandemic, employers are adding more healthcare related perks to their benefits packages. By 2022, more than half of companies are expected to offer hospital indemnity coverage, which helps pay for out-of-pocket expenses. More than 75% will likely offer critical illness coverage, which does provide more healthcare coverage in unexpected situations. And nearly 70% will be offering pet insurance. And boy, if you have a pet, you know that those costs can be skyrocketing all the time. Well, today the Crayola experience in Chandler is getting a visit from its first kid CEO. That's Chief Experience Officer, 11-year-old Indigo Chai, will impart her kid expert feedback on the new activities and products. The attraction at Chandler Fashion Center recently reopened. It's so much fun after being shut down for a year.
Who Wants to Be an Astronaut? Discovery announcing a new TV competition show, and the winner will get a trip to space.
You can apply right now at discovery.com/astronaut. The show expected to come out next year, and the champion will get to fly to the International Space Station and spend 8 days on board.
Next at 6:30, they're more than just a fad. They're caring animals who take a lot of work to raise. So only on ABC 15 Mornings, we're diving deeper into this one, looking at the growing pig problem happening across our state.
Plus, making the pivot from the classroom to online learning. Moms and dads, you know all about it, right? We've been in it to win it together. New for you this morning, though, why some families are deciding to keep their kids at home for the future.